Rachel was looking forward to spending the afternoon with her dad. It had been ages since he had a day off work. He had promised her that he would take her to the park and they would play a game of soccer. After lunch, the two of them set off for the park. It didn't take them long to reach it. It was only a short walk from their house. "Come on then, Rachel, let's see what skills you've got." Rachel kicked the ball towards her dad. "Great shot." The two of them passed the ball back and forth, each of them trying their best to hit it as hard as they could. Rachel's dad kicked it really hard. She wasn't sure if she'd be able to return it, but she gave it her best shot. The ball went flying high above her dad's head into the air. She watched as it flew further and further and went right over the fence surrounding the park. "Sorry, Dad. It's gone into the grounds of the old deserted factory." "Come on then, we'd better go and look for it." Rachel followed her dad as he climbed through a hole in the fence that led to the factory grounds. The place had been abandoned for almost 20 years, and Rachel had always been a bit scared of it. Once, when she was younger, she had gone through with her friends, but they had only taken a quick peek inside and then ran off. The two of them searched the grounds around the factory, but their ball was nowhere to be seen. "It must have gone inside. Come on, let's take a look." As they entered the old derelict building, Rachel felt a shiver go up her spine. There was something about the place. It gave her the heebie-jeebies. It was really dark inside. Rachel could hardly see 2 steps in front of her. Suddenly, she felt something brush her cheek. "Ah!" "Don't be silly, Rachel. It's only a cobweb." They went further and further into the building. Suddenly, her dad stopped dead. Rachel bumped into the back of him. "What is it, Dad?" "Look." Rachel looked in the direction her dad was pointing. What she saw terrified her. An enormous, spider-like creature was heading straight towards them. They both went rigid with fear. There was no way to escape. Suddenly, Rachel felt the creature's web winding around her body. Welcome back to SCP Exposed. Today we bring you Euclid class subject SCP-2657 Puppet Master. But before I go on, make sure you like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell, or you might find yourself the victim of a lethal creature too. SCP-2657 is an arachnid closely resembling a member of the Araneidae family, orb-weaving spiders. It has a leg span of 2.7 meters, a body length of 0.9 meters, and weighs 28.4 kilograms. The cuticle of chitin covering its cephalothorax is black with silver striations that extend throughout the leg segments. There is silver and yellow mottling along the eyes, pedipalps, and abdomen. SCP-2657 has a pair of jackknife chelicerae that are capable of delivering a potent neuromuscular-blocking venom. After injection of the venom, it further immobilizes its prey with swathing bands, and over the next 1 to 12 hours will saturate its prey with digestive enzymes. Once organic material dissolves into a semi-consumable state, SCP-2657 further breaks the material down with chelicerae and pedipalps and ingests the resulting soup. If necessary, it will continue to administer venom during this consumption period. SCP-2657 is to be contained within a soundproofed arthropod containment cell. All surfaces are to be reinforced with 1.5 centimeter steel plating. Climate control is to be set to standard temperate with corresponding environment to replicate a temperate broadleaf and mixed forest ecoregion, similar to that of the New England Acadian forests. Once per month, 2 D-Class personnel, employee numbers selected randomly by the site lottery program, are designated for removal of waste, lures, excess silk, etc. from the containment cell. SCP-2657 utilizes several hunting strategies, including silk bolas and web traps. The most common hunting strategy is vocal mimicry of intended prey coupled with a lure. It can imitate a variety of animals, including human speech patterns in the English language. Dissections and vivisections of the spawn of the creature have revealed no manner of articulation or other anatomical features capable of producing such vocalizations, and the presence of book lungs further supports an anomalous origin. The corresponding lure is manufactured by the creature out of silk and available detritus, and typically forms a simulacrum of the species being vocally imitated. In order to attract prey, it will conceal itself while manipulating the lure via silk threads and engage in vocal mimicry. The most common lure produced is that of a distressed human child, approximately 6 years of age. This hunting behavior has only been observed at night or during low light conditions. The following is an excerpt of an interview conducted by researcher Isaac Defoe with Captain Andrew Baker regarding the capture of SCP-2657. What did you find? Nothing unusual at first. It was pretty dark in the warehouse. Broken beer bottles, fast food containers, about what you'd expect. Captain Baker paused for a second before continuing. That's when we saw them. The bodies. Scattered along the factory floor. 3 of them. Desiccated, looked like they'd been shrink-wrapped. Had there been any recent reports of missing persons? Nobody'd been reported missing in town except a little girl. What else? There were these web curtains, I guess you could call them, were moving in and out like the whole building was breathing. When a strong wind came, the webs would billow and snap. It was like being on a sailboat. As the drone moved further into the factory, we found a pile of puppets on the floor. Can you please clarify puppets? You mean the lures, correct? Yeah, the lures. There were different animals, mostly dogs and cats, and I think I saw a frog and a bird too. Some of them, you could tell what they were supposed to be, but you could see the evolution as the skip kept practicing. It was getting better. You believe the specimen was practicing, learning through trial and error? It was obvious. The initial designs were crude, something your kid would bring home from school. On the top layer were the humans, these child-sized marionettes. The most realistic even had hair and eyes and bits of clothing. They looked like patchwork Frankenstein dolls. Beyond the dolls, there was a hole, about 20 feet deep, maybe 10 feet across, and double that wide. The hole was lined with more webbing. We flew the drone down and found hundreds, maybe thousands of eggs, each the size of a marble. Is that when you issued the order to enter? That's right. That's when we heard it, faint, but no question what it was. What did you hear? Singing. The damn thing was singing. Researcher Isaac Defoe attempted to communicate with SCP-2657 via the cell intercom system. The following is a transcript of the experiment. SCP-2657 is scratching the bottom of the cell door with its tarsus as it vocally imitates a domestic cat. Move away from the door, please, says Defoe. Please, help, replies 2657. I'm Dr. Defoe, and I'm going to help you. But in order to do that, I need your cooperation. Do you understand? SCP approaches and locates the speaker in the ceiling. Please. Can you tell me your name? Please, I hurt my leg. Help me. SCP-2657 climbs the wall and inspects the speaker, probing it with its pedipalps. Your leg is hurt? I can take a look at it for you, but I'm going to need you to do something for me. What's your name? My name's Rachel. What's yours? Rachel. You can call me Isaac. It's very nice to meet you, Rachel. Can you say Isaac? No. You come over here, silly. Rachel. Can you say Isaac? Count to 10. Numbers? 1, 2, 3. Do you know what comes next? My name's Rachel. I hurt my leg. Help. Mommy, please. I'm trying to help. Grab some keystones on your way back. Where are you? While the sun is bright or in the darkest night? Rachel, that's a pretty name. Who gave you that name? Did your mommy give it to you, Rachel? SCP-2657 paces around the speaker. Mommy, Rachel, this isn't real. Do you want to play? SCP-2657 rears up and stomps its 2 front legs on the speaker. I'm trying to help you, Rachel, but you've got to talk to me. Tell me how I can help you, please. Twisted my foot on a freighter hop back in Boston. Hurt my leg. Come here, please. Get away from me, Mommy. SCP-2657 destroys the intercom speaker with a pneumatic foot thrust. Its claw passing through the speaker and puncturing the cell wall to a depth of 5 centimeters. It was analyzed that SCP-2657 lacks the ability to verbally communicate. Although it has displayed a vocabulary of over 500 words in the English language, this is an imitation of speech, and the subject cannot respond to simple questions or engage in conversation with any degree of accuracy. Initial positive responses in testing have since been dismissed as echolalia. The mimicry is comparable to talking birds, such as the African gray parrot, and seems to have developed as a hunting strategy. The frequency of certain words and phrases, such as please and help me, may have a higher occurrence rate than others due to past success in predation. What do you think of that SCP case? Please leave your comments down below.